Okay, I'm gonna share you my screen. Bienvenido a la clase de español via Zoom. Es mi segunda presentación después de muchos meses. Entonces hoy vamos a aprender expresiones básicas en español y la conjugación del presente del indicativo. So as most of you know, present tense is all about conjugation of the verbs using AR, ER, and IR verbs. So comment down below if you have already studied present tense before. So present tense probably is one of the most challenging tenses, I guess, because it has a lot of irregular verbs. But in this presentation, there's no irregular verbs for now. It's just the regular verbs. So it's not really difficult to understand. But later on, if you have questions, you can ask me anything about it. So in our chat box, can you guys conjugate my name is in Spanish? Do you know how to say my name is in Spanish? There are different ways actually. You can say I am or my name is. Me llamo Matt. Soy I. Okay. Me llamo Carolina. Okay, muy bien. Soy Ivy. Mi nombre es Mary Rose. Tienes que utilizar mi, okay? M-I. Mi nombre es. But for me llamo, that's an E. Muy bien. So guys, I have a challenge here for you. I have here some expressions, basic expressions in English that we need to translate to Spanish. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of translation. Let's see who among you can answer quickly. So we're gonna start with the first one. Let's see your level in Spanish now. How do you say "Can you help me" in Spanish? Can you help me? Let's see. Oh wow, puedes ayudarme. Puedes ayudarme so quick. Okay, I see you. Okay, I just noticed that none of you uses the double question mark. Do you know how to do that in your keyboard? Can we try? Because in Spanish, whenever we write a question, oh yes, okay. However, there's some problem with punctuation. Okay, very good. Leslie, muy bien. Okay, with a capital letter. Guys, it's really important these days, even if we are using WhatsApp, Messenger, it's really important that we use the proper punctuation, you know? Like, I understand that sometimes we are in a hurry and we need to do a lot of things, but so there. I don't know I don't know actually how you use it, but I have a Spanish keyboard because I bought my laptop here. So it depends. If you're a Mac user, probably later on some of you guys can teach us how to do the inverted um, question mark. So there, Ivy said shift option question Mac if you're a Mac user. Sorry, question mark. Okay. Shift option and then question mark. Okay. Muchas gracias, Ivy. Okay, great. Next, guys, we have. Do you speak English? How would you say that? Do you speak English? Comment down below. ¿Tú hablas inglés? Okay, so let's see some variations here. ¿Hablas inglés? Okay, from Carol. From Ivy, hablas inglés. Muy bien. Okay, I noticed that most of you use the accent. It's also very important. Okay, So I'm gonna write it down here. Hablas inglés. Hablas inglés. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't be writing here. Hablas inglés. Okay. Sorry for my handwriting, guys. But yeah, I'm using I'm using my finger now. So hablas inglés. Habláis inglés is for vosotros. Yeah, you can also say that. What else? Mary Rose, tú hablas inglés. It's not really common to for people to use tú, because as we all know, if you have hablas, it's already given that you're talking to another person in front of you. So just singular. So tú hablas inglés is more of like specifying. For example, tú hablas inglés, él no. So do you get me? So it's more of like emphasis in a way. But in the Spanish language, as long as the verb is conjugated, most of the time we don't have to say that. Uh, tú hablas inglés. But yeah, I there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. But when it comes to pragmatics, I mean, in a way, when you talk to people, it's not necessary. Okay. Um, how to use usted in this question? Okay, can someone help Mary Rose? How do you use usted in this question? Can someone ask in the usted form? Usted habla inglés? Okay, muy bien. Usted habla inglés. But do you guys know that here in Spain, usted is not commonly used? That's one of the things that I've noticed here, is that they, even if you think that they're older than you, um, or you think that you need to respect them in a way, like with a hierarchy in at work or things related to that, most of the time they just want you to use tú to them. Like even in my school where I work, they would just say, no pasa nada, tienes que usar tú. They don't mind. So, but it's good to use that as well, especially if you're referring to someone like really old, I guess. They don't mind if you use usted. But sometimes people would say like, oh, don't use usted to me, I'm still young. So there's also this connotation that if you use usted to them, that you feel that they are old. So yeah. However, in some Latin countries, if you have noticed, usted is widely used. So it's one of the characteristics of their language. Um, it's more formal in a way. Okay. Um, next, we have. Do you speak Spanish? So comment down below your answer. Hablas. Oh, sorry, I'm saying the answer. Okay, so do you speak Spanish? Hablas español. Muy bien. Okay. Muy bien. Mhm. Habla español, Leslie. Muy bien. Habla español. Okay. So basically that's the answer. Habla castellano. Okay. Xavier, muy bien. Habla castellano. Mm-hmm. So the most common response would be habla español, but there's a variation that you can also use, which is habla castellano. Sí, 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 hablo castellano. Muy bien. Ahora tenemos, do you understand? It's like, girl, do you get me? Like, how would you say that? Do you understand? Let's see if we can find similar or different answers. Entiendes? Oh. Something is wrong here. Can someone correct Ivy and Carol? The vowel is wrong. Like one vowel. Okay, muy bien. Okay. Autocorrection is a good strategy as well in language learning. That's good. Muy bien, Ivy, Carol. Okay, entiendes? Okay. Mm-hmm. How about if I put me? Like, do you understand me? How would you say that? Like, do you understand me? ¿Me entiendes? Muy bien. ¿Me comprendes? Okay. ¿Entiendes? ¿Puedo usar comprendes? Comprendes, yeah, you can also use comprendes. Yeah, comprendes? Yeah. It's just like a variation. Some people would use entender than comprender. So, yeah. So, let's now move on to the next one. We have excuse me. How would you say that? Excuse me. Disculpe. Okay, perdón. Very well. Okay, Leslie, nice use of the accent that falls on top of the O. Okay, perdón. Okay, so the accent is on the second syllable. Perdona. Okay, perdona is another variation. Okay, perdona o disculpe. Disculpe. Okay, disculpe. Okay. Disculpe is the usted version. Okay, so if you want to use disculpa, it's okay as well. Okay, very well. So now let's move on to the next one. This is easy. Like how do you say good? Good. Like bien. Okay, bien. Mm-hmm. Xavier, Ivy, Mary Rose. Okay, bien. Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Okay. Buenas tardes. Okay, Mary Rose trying to put the exclamation point. Okay. Actually, it should be two. So the inverted one and the normal one. So if you wanna use both of them, you have to be consistent. Okay. So make sure you use both, not exclamation point and then later on comma. You should use both, Mary Rose. Okay. Very well. Okay, so what's interesting about Buenas tardes in Spain is the fact that even if it's 7 p.m., sometimes they say a las 7 de la tarde. And when I ask some native speakers about it, I was asking them, look, hey, Maria, like, how do you say like 7 p.m.? Like, I just want to know, like, when is the boundary between nighttime and like por la noche or por la tarde? And even them, they are not sure about it. They just say that if it's when the sun is no longer there, then it's nighttime. So it's quite confusing for me because in English, when it is already, correct me if I'm wrong, like, but if it's like 6 p.m. onwards, it's like evening already, like 6 in the evening. Well, we don't say like 7 in the afternoon, right? So that is one like peculiar thing about it because it just depends on them. Like sometimes they say a las 8 de la tarde or like a las 7 de la tarde. ¿Cuándo nos vemos? Bueno, vamos al restaurante a las 7 de la tarde. So sometimes it's just different, like how they think and how they use it. So Carol, I still have to learn how to use the accents. Yeah. Carol, you can learn accents by reading. So if you read a lot, you will definitely encounter different words and know how to use them. But there are some like rules on how to do it. Like if that's an interesting thing that we could actually talk about later on, probably for our next presentation. Okay. Guys, now goodbye. How do you say goodbye? ¿Cómo se dice goodbye en español? ¿Cómo se dice goodbye? Adios. Okay. So as we can see here, there's an accent in O. Adios. Adios. Okay. Nos vemos. Nos vemos is like let's see each other. So like let's see each other. So ciao. Yeah, ciao can also be another way of saying goodbye. Ciao. Okay. So if you can see here, the accent is on top of O, okay? So guys, what happens if, for example, I put the accent on top of I instead of O? How would you pronounce it? So if I put the accent on I and not on O, how would you pronounce it? Yeah, it would be adios, okay? So be careful. Most of the time, if there are like two vowels, consecutive vowels, and you see the accent on the second one, so we combine both of them. So it becomes like a diphthong, if I'm not mistaken. So adios, adios. So instead of producing two separate vowels, we pronounce them as one. So adios, adios. Okay? So it's important to know when to place the accents. Obviously, if you're just talking to friends, then they don't mind. Just say adios. They just understand it. But if you're writing formally, you really need to know how to put those accents, yeah? And it is through reading and to exposure to text that you are able to identify if a word has an accent or not. Okay? Because like, oh, Daryll, how would I know if I put this and that? Most of the time, it's through reading and basically knowing some patterns and rules to it, which we will not discuss today. Okay. Galaxy Tab. What is your name, Miss or Mr. Galaxy Tab again? ¿Cómo te llamas? So there, Adio, Isa. Okay. So she wrote with a Y. Y. Okay, sorry. Next one we have good morning. Good morning. ¿Cómo se dice good morning in español? Okay, okay. I'm seeing different answers here. Okay, let's see. Okay. Ivy, no encuentro la exclamación. Okay, I'm gonna type it down. La exclamación. Okay, there's some problem with spelling. Okay, so this is one of the common mistakes of Filipinos most of the time. If you notice, those who pretend that they speak Spanish would just say buenos dias, which is wrong. We don't say buenas. Buenos dias. It's buenos dias, okay? So in my previous video, if you have watched my videos on YouTube, I talked about masculine and feminine nouns. And most of the time, can someone tell me what are the rules? How do we know if you are a follower of my videos, girl? How would you know if a noun is masculine or feminine? Comment down below. How would you know? For example, we have casa. I think I gave this examples. We have like casa and then libro. And then we have dia. Okay, an easy, simple explanation coming from Mary Rose and Carol. Muy bien. So if it ends in a, it's female. O, male. Okay. Um, in this case, casa, what article can we use to mean the house? How would you say? What is the article? La casa. How about if I say a house? A house. A house. Una casa, muy bien. Very good. Okay. Can someone give me the article for libro? How would I say the book? El libro. And a book? Okay, un libro. Okay. So there's an interesting thing about it. Like, so guys, how about dia? What is the article for dia when I say the day? El dia. El dia. Okay. So if I ask you, so, oh, Daryl, but you told us that if it ends in then I should be using la. So it should be la dia, right? But why do we use el dia? Haven't you asked yourselves? Who can tell me why? Yes, there are exemptions. Okay, very well. So that's just it, guys. If you ask me, honestly, you just have to memorize the exemptions. Yeah. So in every language that you probably learn in the future aside from Spanish, also in French we also do the same thing. So la casa, for example, we in French they say la maison. So like it's also la libro, el libro, and then they have le livre. If you know Spanish, later on if you want to learn French, it's gonna be easier for you in a way that the vocabulary is similar. You just change the spelling and how you pronounce the words. But yeah, obviously you learn that when you have time. But I'm just saying. So they kind of share the same rules when it comes to masculine and feminine nouns. Yeah. Arabic influence. It could be actually, yeah, I haven't looked into that. But basically, when I was learning that, I just knew that there were some exemptions to the rule. Okay, so going back, how do you say good night? ¿Cómo se dice good night? Good night. Buenas noches. Muy bien. Okay. Buenas noches. Mm-hmm. Muy bien. So we already know that. Good night. Have a nice day. So let's move on a little bit faster, guys. How about have a nice day? Let's see who can answer faster. Have a nice day. Que tengas un buen día. Okay. Que tengas un buen día. Ten buen día. Okay. Great. Que tenga un buen día. If you notice, if you have started learning subjunctives, um, there is what we call an omission that happened in that part, okay? Because the complete sentence would be espero que tengas un buen día, okay? So since it is oral communication and sometimes you want to make things shorter, which what happened to the Spanish language most of the time when they speak. Instead of saying espero que tengas un buen día, they just say que tengas un buen día. It's a short version. Like there's an omission that happened, so they just omitted the espero because it is a common knowledge that they hope and that they wish you a good day or a great day ahead. Yeah? So that's just a simple explanation that I can say when it comes to that. So, um, yeah, so espero que tengas un buen día. Okay? Very well. Tengas is not part of our lesson for today. That's subjunctive. Later on, guys, hopefully in the future, I could host more when it comes to subjunctive and similar things like that, accents. I'm gonna let you know on our page, so watch out for that. Okay, so let's now go. Okay, this is very simple. Hello, obviously we know this. Just what is this? Is it hola? Do you guys say it as hola or hola or hola? Can you guys pronounce it? Like, can you use your mic? Can you pronounce it?
Hola.
Wow. Okay.
Hola.
Okay.
Hola.
Hola. Okay. Basically, if you're Filipino, it's not really difficult for you to pronounce vowels, okay? Because we use a, e, I, o, u, which is the same in Filipino and in most Philippine languages. So, for Americans or British, for example, if they are a beginner in the language, they could probably be wrong in pronouncing that because they would say hola or hola or like it is different for them because the vowels are just different in English, and so in Spanish, since it's very open, like like the sound that you produce is just here. Okay, it's more of the outer part of the mouth, so we use that vowel. Okay, how are you? There are different versions. How would you say how are you if you see your friends, your Spanish friends, for example? ¿Qué tal? Okay, very good. Isa, can you put an accent? Well, if you don't have it on your keyboard. ¿Cómo estás? Okay. Be careful with the accent as well, Carol. ¿Cómo estás? Okay. Ivy, your como is missing something as well. It's almost perfect. ¿Qué tal? Muy bien, Leslie. Okay. So the como. Okay, I have a question. What is the difference between como and como? Which one? Okay, so which one is how? Comment down below. What number? ¿Qué número? How? Because we have different types of como. Okay, número uno. Okay, so we say como. So basically, if you say it to someone, when you're communicating with someone, it's it doesn't matter if it has an accent because you don't see the text. However, if if they see your writing, if they see your word that is written probably on Facebook, they will say, ah, this girl doesn't know how to use accents. Okay? So, como without an accent can mean two different things. For example, who can tell me the translation of como without an accent? Comment down below if you have studied that. I eat. Okay, another one. There's also another one that we often use. I eat. Como, I eat, and how. Ivy, no, no, no. I'm referring to the second como, the one without an accent. Like, muy bien. Okay, so I was referring to like, yeah? So for example, um, me gusta mucho la comida japonesa. Por ejemplo, como ramen, sushi, ¿sí? Entonces tenemos que utilizar como para indicar like, yeah? So that's how we use it. Okay, so now let's now move on. Okay. How is it going? How is it going? Later, guys, I'm gonna show you the answer, so don't worry. Como ba? Okay. How is it going? Okay, ¿qué tal vas? ¿Qué pasa? Okay, later on, guys, I'm gonna tell you, okay? How old are you? ¿Cuántos años tienes? Okay. ¿Qué edad tienes? Okay, another variation from Xavier, sorry. Um, ¿Cuántos años tiene? Usted, you can also say that. If you notice, these questions are not really something that we use whenever we meet someone, you know? Like, probably if you're close to someone, you could ask them these questions, but pragmatically speaking, and culturally as well, since we're Asians, and probably for some people it's kind of weird like that you're asking about their age, yeah, especially if you're asking or addressing that to women. So be careful as well. When you want to know someone's age, make sure that you're comfortable with that person or you have been like friends, I guess, because it's not common to ask age unless you're like really close or it's something that is important to be asked in 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 a school setting or at work. So yeah, I think in general, not just for Asians, like in general. So yeah, but it's good to know how um to ask this type of questions. Yeah, I don't know. Comment down below, guys. I don't know. No sé. Okay, very good. Mm-hmm. No lo sé. Very well. Mm-hmm. Okay, very well. No lo sé. Carol, you have to put on an accent, okay? In se. So there, guys, we have no lo sé. I don't speak Spanish, for example. I don't speak Spanish. Okay, no hablo chino, por ejemplo. Okay. Muy bien, Isa. Ivy, Leslie. Okay. So now let's move on to the next. Um, I don't understand. No entiendo. Okay. I don't understand. I'm from. Comment down below, guys. I'm from. ¿De dónde sois? ¿De dónde eres? Someone asks you, ¿de dónde eres? ¿De dónde es? Soy de Marte. Marte. Soy de Marte. Soy de. Okay, great. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, this one, there's a lot of variation because it depends on the level of severity, I guess. Perdón, disculpa, lo siento. Okay, very well. Um, I'm blank years old. Okay, this one, if you're teaching English here in Spain, it's so funny because they always say I have for age. It's like a direct translation. Like to them, they say like for example, I am 18 years old. They would say no. For example, they say tengo 18 años, and they say I have 18 years old. That is a common mistake Spanish people usually commit because of like how they translate it from Spanish to English. Yeah. But obviously, we know that that's not the translation. So, tengo, yeah, very well. Tengo 100 años, muy bien. I speak Mm-hmm. So comment down below, guys, what other languages you speak. So, ¿qué idiomas habláis? Okay, hablo un poco de alemán. Un poco de alemán, Ivy. Mm-hmm. A little bit of, okay? And Alemán has an accent, okay, very well. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, guys. How'd you say it doesn't matter? No importa. Okay, muy bien. It doesn't matter. No pasa nada. Mm-hmm. Let's go. Let's go. How about let's go? Okay. Maybe. Maybe. Quizás. Tal vez. Okay. How about quizás? Is it the right okay, Leslie. Okay, Leslie is right. Okay. Correcto. Quizás. Con acento en A. Muy bien. My name is. Well, we already did this. Okay. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Okay, very well. So guys, thank you so much. Now I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the translations that I made here. So let's see. So here they are. If you can see here, I'm so sorry with adios. I know that it has an accent on top of the O. So here we've got some translation. Are your answers all correct? ¿Vuestras respuestas son correctas? Yeah? I think most of you did great. Okay. So, Mary Rose, here we have no importa. It doesn't matter. No pasa nada is also acceptable, guys. So don't worry. I just couldn't fit everything. Okay. Que le vaya bien, por ejemplo, have a nice day can be que te vaya bien. Okay. We have got all these. ¿Entiendes? ¿Comprendes? You can also say con permiso. Con permiso is quite interesting. Based on my experience, like hearing them talk, usually con permiso is used by a lot of Latinos in Spain. Yeah. Adios definitely should have an accent on top of the O. Okay. Buenas noches. Que le vaya bien. We can also put te because le is the formal form. Yeah, for usted. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo está? Yeah, do you see the como? You have to put an accent on top of the O. No sé, no hablo, no entiendo, yo soy de, lo siente, tengo blank años, yo hablo, no importa, vamos, quizás. On top of the A, you have to put an accent. Okay, series I'm watching, no importa. Okay. Comment down below, Mary Rose, about that series that you're watching. So you could share it to others as well. Mucho gusto or encantado. Yeah, it's mucho gusto is a variation as well. Mm-hmm. Depending on who uses it, you would encounter that. Okay, guys, so we have finished this one. Now we're gonna do a little bit of. I know that you already know this, so we're just gonna go and practice a little bit of the present tense, okay, conjugation. I wasn't able to include irregular verbs. I'm so sorry, but like next time probably, okay? So here, let's answer some like verbs that we use at home, okay? So can someone read this for me? Let's see, I'm gonna call someone. For example, Xavier, can you read this one?
Los quehaceres.
Yes.
Quehaceros.
Mm-hmm. Los quehaceres. And the one inside the bubble?
Ay, Dios mío, yo odio hacer los quehaceres.
¿Qué haceres? Okay. Muchas gracias. Okay. Carol, what do you think ¿qué haceres mean? What do you think does this word mean? Does anyone have an idea? ¿Qué haceres? Household chores, Ivy. Muy bien. Okay, so basically we're gonna learn some verbs related to household chores.
Hacer is to do, right?
Yes. Muy bien. Okay, so hacer is to do. Great. Okay, so let's try to answer some of the questions here. Okay, limpiar. Okay, comment down below. La mujer blank la cocina. Okay, comment down below your answer. La mujer limpia la. Wow, you guys type so fast. Okay, so limpia la cocina. Okay, so if you notice, AR verbs, regular verbs, are easy to conjugate. It's o as a, amos a is an. That's how I say it to my students. So o as a, if you know how to conjugate this, then you'll be fine with AR verbs, regular. O as a, amos, ais, and an. Okay? Siguiente, vamos a pasar a la siguiente. Ahora, hacer la cama o tender la cama. Here in Spain, we would usually use hacer la cama, but probably in some other Spanish-speaking countries, they use tender la cama as well, which is a variation and it's correct. Okay, can someone answer? Jose Blanc, todos los días. Muy bien, Ivy. Tiende la cama todos los días. Ivy, your spelling of Jose, because guys, in Spanish, if you don't put an accent, people would assume that the accent falls on the second to the last syllable. It's Jose, Jose, which is wrong because the name is Jose. Okay, so if you leave, for example, this is just a very quick tip when it comes to putting an accent. For example, okay, in Spanish we call it libro. Libro. We don't put an accent because there is already an assumed knowledge that if there is no accent, the accent falls on second to the last syllable. Yeah? That's an assumed knowledge. For example, mesa. Mesa. You don't say mesa. If it's mesa, then there should have been an accent there. But since it's mesa, it's assumed that you have to stress the accent here. In mesa, libro. However, because we're Filipinos, we already know that we pronounce it that way. So we don't really think about pronunciation that much because in our language, we pronounce it almost the same way. However, I hear in the Philippines, I would hear some people say libro. O kunin mo yung libro mo dyan. Libro. Di ba ganon? Libro. But in Spanish, we say libro. Okay? Tengo muchos libros. Okay? We don't say tengo muchos libros. Okay? So, if you notice the difference right there, that's how we do it. Okay? So, hacer is a verb that means to do. So, is it a regular or an irregular verb? Comment down below. And tell me why it's irregular. Why did I say that? Sorry. Okay, Okay. Okay, why is it irregular? Yes. Okay. And how did it become ago? You just have to memorize it, guys. Like honestly, I don't know how they make it, but when we were given the words and the vocabulary needed for that, we just memorized it. So there. Next one we have. Okay, so let's see. So sorry. Okay, next. Okay, guys, comment down below. Nora, la aspiradora por toda la casa. Pasa la aspiradora. Okay, what is aspiradora in English? Vacuum cleaner. Okay, very good. Ella pasa la aspiradora por toda la casa. Okay. Pasar can mean different things, guys. Like it can be pasar, like to pass, or there are different expressions related to that. Okay, so you can look it up in word reference as well if you're curious. Next one, we have barrer el piso. Los niños blank el piso. Los niños barren, okay? Barren, okay? Can I ask everyone to pronounce that word? Los niños barren el piso. Okay, let's start with Carol. Okay, Carol, your time to shine.
Los niños barren el piso.
Okay. Siguiente, Leslie. Leslie o Leslie?
Leslie.
Leslie, okay. Leslie, venga.
Los niños barren el piso.
Okay, Carol, can you pronounce it? Read and pronounce the...
Los niños barren el piso.
Okay. Xavier.
Los niños barren el piso.
Ivy.
Yes. Los niños barren el piso.
Okay, and Miss Isa, right?
Yes. Los niños barren el piso.
Okay, muy bien. Okay, so there. So we have los niños barren el piso. You don't have any difficulty pronouncing the R. I think for Filipinos it's quite easy to roll the R. We say r every time r. So sometimes they ask me like, "Oh, can you pronounce this?" And they would assume that I wouldn't be able to pronounce that. I'm saying, no, I know how to pronounce that. Like, we have that kind of sound in our language. So sometimes they just assume that you don't know. But yeah, I guess in general, we don't have a problem in pronouncing the R sound. But just make sure that if it's double R, you have to roll the R a little bit. Okay, so barrer el piso. And also, if the word starts with an R, you have to put an extra effort in rolling the R, okay? So there. Los niños barren el piso. Siguiente. Okay, guys, can you comment down your answers? Ay, perdón. Okay. Carlos. Okay. Leslie, can you read your answer, please? Carlos.
Carlos lava los platos.
Okay. Carol.
Carlos lava los platos.
Xavier.
Carlos lava los platos.
Mary Rose.
Carlos lava los platos.
Matt.
Carlos lava los platos.
Okay, very well. Okay, so here's what I've noticed. Some of you pronounce it as lava, as in like lava walk. No, we don't pronounce it as v. I know that it's v, but in Spanish we just say b. Okay, so don't try to use the v sound in English because they don't use that. You say lava. Diba nga sa Filipino same lang siya, diba? Like we use for example, oh maglalaba na ako. Like sometimes it's just weird for me like whenever I think of words in Spanish and then I realize like oh my god in Filipino it's the same. I just realized it's also laba. And so it's amusing in a way. So be careful we don't say lava. Okay, like I have some students, like there are American students as well, they say like oh lavo los platos. So no, so they say labo. Okay? Just use the b sound. Yeah, but why did they put V if if they have the b sound as well? What instead of putting V, they should have put b there. But I don't know. So they just put it there, like they use it. So we just have to respect the pronunciation. Okay, next. Planchar la ropa. Okay, comment down below your answer. This one as well is so amusing when I learned about it. I was like, oh my god, this is also in Filipino. Like planchar. Who doesn't know what planchar is? Julieta, plancha la ropa. Okay. Sorry guys, it's cada Sabado. Okay, so it was already late when I was typing this. That's cada Sabado. Okay? And be careful as well if you have already studied this, but for days and months of the year, it's always small letters. Okay? And then some of them have an accent on top of the vowel. If we don't put the accent on top of a on the syllable of sa, it would be pronounced as sabado. Sabado. So there's an emphasis that is put on top of the sa. That's why it's called Sabado. But since we are in Philippine languages, we don't usually. I mean, hopefully they put accents, but like Filipinos are not used to that. So probably if they push on putting accents later on in the writings, yeah, we can do that. Sorry, okay, I'm gonna put it here. Actually, I'm gonna cover the conjugation because I don't know if you know the conjugation or you're just copying from the. Okay, comment down below. Miguelito. Corta. Okay, corta el césped. Okay, césped. Okay. Next, guys, I'm gonna make it a little bit faster so we can do everything. Okay. And it's almost the time. Mitzi prepara la cena. Very good. Okay. Muy bien. Okay. Paco blank las figuritas. Limpia. Okay. Okay, if you're Bisaya or if you know any other Philippine languages, which I know one, I grew up in Romblon when I was younger. The language there has also like some mix of like Spanish words. That's why I know limpiar. But if I grew up in Taytay in Rizal, I wouldn't have known that because I remember my grandparents would tell me limpiaha be ang mesa, something like that. So I just didn't know that it was Spanish. Back then I thought that was just part of our language. Obviously it's part of our language, but it came from Spanish as well, like limpiar. Okay? So I think if you're Bisaya or in some other Ilonggo as well, I guess, because it has some similarities, it really helps. And obviously, if you're Chabacano, then you win a lot of Spanish words already. Okay? So there, guys. I'm so sorry. Wait. Okay, let me just put this way. Sacar la basura. Sacar la basura. Oh my goodness, guys. I put... I didn't put any blank in here, but yeah, like, so Juanito saca la basura. Todos los días. So like, okay, and this one as well. I'm so sorry I didn't put a blank. So yo pongo la mesa para la cena de Navidad. Okay, so can someone translate that to English? Let's just see how you translate it. Yo pongo la mesa para la cena de Navidad. It's another way of knowing if you know the translation as well, because it's already given. How would you say that in English? Let's see who's gonna do a literal translation here, or a nice semantic translation. She set up the dinner table for Christmas dinner. Wow, so fancy. Okay, she set up. Okay, but we're doing translation here, Ivy. So it should have been I set the table for Christmas dinner. Yeah. Okay. But your answer is correct. I'm just picking on you. I set the table up. Yeah. Okay. Muy bien. Next one. Okay. Okay, here, guys. Mario. Mario what? Okay, let's see. Oh, some of you committed mistakes because I hid the table. The answer is riega. Okay, so riega. Oh yeah, yeah. I misread the answer. Mario riega las plantas. Muy bien. Okay. Next one we have. Okay, I want you to type in the full sentence, guys, just to know if you know how to conjugate the verbs. Mary Rose, can you read your answer? Let's try. Mi hermana.
Lo siento, estoy ocupada porque mi hija.
Okay, vale, okay. Ivy.
Mi hermana odia lava y seca la ropa.
Okay, do you guys think that it's correct? Okay, this is quite interesting. I'm gonna teach you now. Okay, so your answers are okay. Ivy, your first answer is correct. Mi hermana odia lavar y secar la ropa. Do you guys know why? Odia lavar. Oh, sorry. Why is it not? Oh, wait. Mi hermana odia lavar y secar la ropa. I'm gonna put it here. Lavar. Wait. F5. Lavar. So let's try. Well, just gonna type it. Okay, so lavar y secar la ropa, because if you have the first verb conjugated, you don't have to conjugate the following verbs. It should be in the infinitive. Okay, so mi hermana odia lavar y secar la ropa. Okay, so she hates washing and drying the clothes. So there, guys. So now, guys, we have I think it's already time. Do you have any questions? I hope that you enjoyed our class today. If you're new to my channel, by the way, you can also like share it to your friends. I do some events whenever I have time. I try to make some events related to the Spanish language, basically teaching people how to conjugate stuff and also learn more vocabulary. That's what we usually do. And then these days I've been uploading stuff as well, so you can check them out. I put some. Right now, I'm putting emphasis more on subtitles. I think it really helps people whenever they see something on the screen. So yeah, do you guys have any question before we leave? I'm so sorry that it's quite late now. 5 minutes late. So there. Okay, wait. I'm not seeing the messages. Wait, I'm gonna read some of the messages. Vale, muchas gracias. Thank you so much, guys, for being in our class today. I hope that you participate in some other time. Basically, I'm gonna do more of this, but of course, different topics probably. So we get to know different types of grammatical structure in Spanish and also learn some vocabulary. Muchas gracias a todos. Adiós. Que pases un buen día. Enjoy your weekend. Buen fin de semana. Ciao. Ciao, everyone.
Hola.
Hola.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Bye-bye. Naka-record eh. Alis muna ako. Bye.